Sourdough. The world is obsessed with sourdough. This is my starter right here. This is probably 230 years old. It's been around a long time. I'm gonna feed my starter so that I can bake a loaf of bread tomorrow. I'm gonna start with a nice sterile ball jar, zero out my scale, and I'm just gonna put in between 10 and 20 grams of this starter. That's it. So what I have right here is even too much. Let's see, probably close to 20. So I'm gonna feed this, put it back in the refrigerator, and we're gonna feed this so that we can make bread tomorrow. And then I'm gonna add to this 50 grams of warm water. So you can still touch it. It's like bath water, basically. Now I have unbleached Bob's Red Mill organic bread flour. So I'm gonna take some of that. And again, let's zero out the scale. I'm gonna hold on to this and we'll zero out the scale. Zero. And we're gonna do 50 grams of the bread flour. That's 20. 50.5, boy, I'm good. All right, so then we're gonna take and mix this up and let this double in size, get nice and bubbly and mature, and then we will put our bread together. Look at that. It's pretty. It's not very loose. You can see it's quite clumpy. This is perfect. This is just what you want. Put that aside for about 4 hours and then it should be doubled in size. And we'll make our bread tonight, put it in the refrigerator, bake it tomorrow. Good morning. This little baby has sat all night and I drew a little mark there where we started and it has just a little bit more than doubled, but it's absolutely beautiful. I want to show you. Oh, it smells wonderful too. Look at that. That's just what you want it to look like. And we probably have just about 100 grams, and that's what we need to make our bread. I like to mix my dough with my KitchenAid, my mixer. So I'm measuring all the ingredients into that bowl. I've got the bowl on my scale. This is a handy dandy thing. I mean, these are the kinds of things I like to collect. Kitchen gadgets that are actually helpful, useful in my kitchen. So I'm gonna take and get 100 grams of my starter. Look at that. It's just so gorgeous. You have to see this. Look at this. Oh. Perfection. All right. It should just about be 100 grams. Ooh, 100.5 grams. Look at that. And so what I have left in here, I could actually make a whole other loaf of bread with. Just adding 50 grams of water and 50 grams of flour, and I can bake again tomorrow. So there you go. That'll go aside. Now we're gonna add 300 grams of water. This has just been gently warmed. So I'm gonna zero out my scale. Pour it in. That's 200, 260, 304. That's okay, that is within the limits. So this is what I use to get my dough started. I'm gonna link this below. Forget that little gadget with the rings in it that are impossible to scrub clean. Look at that. When I'm ready to clean this, all I have to do is run the sponge around it and it's clean. And it's solid too. This is no wimpy little thing. It's not a spring, it is solid, but your dough won't get stuck in it. So we're gonna go ahead and mix that starter into the water until it's well incorporated. I'm probably gonna have a couple of little bits floating around here and there. That's okay, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. But here we go. So it's like a nice milky consistency. mostly mixed in. All right, look at that already. Mostly clean. We'll put that aside, and we're gonna add our flour now. So we're going to add 500 grams of organic bread flour. Let me zero this out first. It's gonna be about 6 scoops. 2, 3, ooh, I hope I have enough flour. 4, 5, and we're almost there. 498.5. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit extra because I had a little extra water. 500.5, I think that's okay. And now we're gonna go ahead and mix that up and let it watch. Look at how this tool just moves through the dough. It's making me so happy. Okay. I'm gonna link this in the information below because you gotta get your own. If you do sourdough, this is your tool, baby. All right. Now we're at the point where I would call this a shaggy dough. And many sourdough experts would have you mix this now with your hands and incorporate it, maybe put it on your counter and knead it really well until it is nice and smooth. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm gonna take all the extra dough off my hook. There we go, that's gonna be a dream to clean. And I'm gonna put this on the KitchenAid. And I mean for 10 minutes. I'm gonna let this just mix with the dough hook for 10 minutes. Round and round she goes. And I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. We're right about at that 5-minute mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in 2 teaspoons of Celtic sea salt. 1 and 2. With wet hands, I'll be able to get the dough off of the hook. Plunk that in the sink and grab this amazing tight little ball of Sammy. That's what I affectionately call my sourdough. Now we got Sammy in the ball. We're gonna make sure that we don't have any lumps, which we shouldn't have because KitchenAid. Hello. All right. I'm just gonna form it into a nice little round. There you have it. And I'm gonna take my bread towel, put that over top for about 30 minutes, and come back and do a stretch and fold. See you in that. 30 minutes, and now it's time to do our first stretch and fold. And you can see how beautiful and round that is starting to become. I'm gonna moisten my hands. And then we're just gonna pull the dough up and out of the ball. And then fold it in on itself. And then we're gonna turn it quarter turn, do the same thing. Turn it a quarter turn, and do the same thing. Now here it's already starting to fight me, which is good, that's a good sign. It's alive, the gluten has been activated. That's why I do this in my KitchenAid, because I want that gluten to be activated. That's what happens. There you go, it's beautiful. All right, so that is 4 quarter turns. It's nice and sticky, it's pulling back, it's got some tension. Oh, this is making me very happy. All right, we're gonna do this 3 more times every 30 minutes. All right, it's time to do our second set of stretch and folds. And I didn't show you this in the video before, but I moistened this towel so it has a little bit of weight to it, and it'll keep the top of my dough from getting all dried out between our stretch and folds. Moistening my hands. And oh yeah, that's beautiful consistency. It's nice and soft and loose. That's what 30 minutes will do for you. I'm gonna rinse that dough off real quick because with this set of stretch and folds, are you ready? This is where it gets exciting. exciting. Okay, one of my favorite things to do with sourdough bread is to turn it into an everything sourdough bread. So it's everything bagels, seasoning, seeds, and, well, my husband calls it birdseed bread because it's got all these seasoned things in it. And just about that much. So I'm covering the surface just like that. And then, of course, you know, when we bake it later, we're gonna put it all across the top of the loaf. Yum, yum, yum. All right, now I'm gonna wet my hands again. We're gonna stretch and fold all of those seasonings into the bread. Now, here's the thing. Because it's your bread, when you're making your bread, you can add whatever you like. Another one of our favorites is we do a loaf with rosemary, garlic, and Parmesan cheese. Oh, baby, that one is really good. That is a favorite for sure. All right, so I did my 4 stretch and folds, and now I'm just kind of incorporating that. I want it to be in the middle. Look at the texture of this bread, this dough already. Oh, all right, so it is in there. I'm gonna put that in the bottom of the bowl, recover it with that damp towel, and set the timer for another 30 minutes. All right, it's time to do our next set of stretch and folds. Wet your hands. Let's get in there. I'm gonna pull it up. This dough feels so beautiful and smooth right now. All right, that's 1 fold, 2 folds. And you're literally pulling it up and folding it in half. Pulling it up and folding it in half. You see how all of the seasonings are getting equally dispersed through the dough. All right, I think I'm gonna let this rest one more time. We'll do one more 30-minute sit and rise, and then I think we're gonna make bread. We're gonna do our very last stretch and fold, and then we're gonna do what they call a bulk ferment. We're gonna let it bulk rise for about 8 hours. We're gonna watch until it is doubled in size. There you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, turns around the bowl. Getting all of those seasonings nicely incorporated. All right, got some surface tension going there a little bit. But we're just gonna let that rise for about 8 hours. See you then. You just take a little bit of that bread flour, cook it up, and get a little dusting here. And I like to put a little bit of, well, a little pile, the rest of the flour there in case I need to incorporate extra as I go along. All right, now this should just fall right out of the bowl. It smells like everything bagel dough. Come on now. There we go. Look at that. So I'm gonna get some flour on my fingers. Roll this around a little bit. There we go. Okay. And what I wanna do is stretch it out. Look at that. We're gonna get rid of a lot of these bubbles. You can see, look at, see that? We don't want big gaps in our loaf, because else where are you gonna put your butter if your loaf is full of holes? Sometimes I see creators making very holy bread. I'm like, where are you gonna put all of your peanut butter and jelly or whatever you're gonna put on your bread? All right, so there we go. I've got out most of the bubbles. I'm gonna fold it in thirds, just like that. And here we're gonna roll it up. And as I roll it, I'm feeling for other bubbles. Look at that, there's a big bubble. You can hear them popping. And bring it right around. Close those ends up like that, beautiful. All right, now my surface is pretty, it's a little sticky. I'm gonna just moisten it a bit. A little bit of water on my hand. Look at that texture. Woo, it's so much fun. All right. The reason that I did that is because remember, this is an everything loaf. So we're gonna take that organic everything seasoning and we're gonna sprinkle that all on the top. And you can go really crazy and sprinkle it on your surface like that and just roll your loaf through it, getting every little seed, every little bit. Okay, so there's our top. And I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down into my banneton. Just a little dusting, because we don't want anything to stick. And then we're gonna take and put this upside down right into there. Just like that. Pinching anything that looks like it might want to open up. I'm just gonna pinch that closed. There you go. Now I prefer to make these oval shaped loaves, these oblong loaves, and you're gonna see that my Dutch oven is also an oblong shape because that's the shape of a loaf of bread, right? You wanna cut slices. Round loaves, I don't know how you're supposed to make sandwiches with that. It makes no sense to me. Anyhow, this is it. I'm gonna cover this with my towel, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and we're gonna bake it in the morning. See you then. All right, I just took our sourdough loaf out of the fridge. She looks pretty good. And I'm gonna tip the banneton now over onto here. Actually, I've seen lots of people tip their banneton onto their parchment or their silicone, but this is the way you do it. You put it across the top and you flip the whole thing, then you lift your banneton. There you go. Look at that with all that goodness, all of our seasonings right there. The oven is preheating right now to 550 with our cast iron inside. While that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and score the top. Now I like to make a nice big ear from end to end. This score will create a nice big ear. There you go. And then down the other side, this is where I like to get a little bit artistic. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop, there's a thread from my banneton liner. That's not good. And then I'll come back up top and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that we'll get a nice leaf effect across one side and then a big opening across the other side. All right, the oven has preheated to 550 with the Dutch oven inside. I've pre-crumpled a piece of parchment paper that I'm gonna put down in the bottom of my Dutch oven. Let me pull it out. There we go. Close it back up. Woo, the sucker is hot. Okay, so we're gonna squish that down in there. And this is just gonna keep the bottom of my bread from becoming black. Now I'm gonna grab the ends of the silicone, just like so. Put her right in there. Like a little baby, look at that. Lid goes back on, and I'm gonna put this in the oven for 30 minutes at 450. I'm gonna reduce the heat to 450. Then I'll take the lid off and let it go for another 15 minutes or until it's golden across the top. There's the timer. All right, that means that 30 minutes have elapsed and it's time to reach in there and grab the lid. This is why I recommend the extra long thing because you never know what you're gonna touch. In fact, I'm gonna pull the grate out a little bit and then, oh, grab that right there. Oh my gosh, she already has a beautiful ear. Wait a minute, you have to see this. Look at that ear. Whoa. All right, and she's gonna get another, I guess 10 minutes. All right, the timer just went off. I turned my oven off, and now I'm gonna grab that pan, or Dutch oven. Oh my gosh, look at this baby, look at her. All right, I have a cooling rack set up right next to that. I'm gonna grab these ears, bring it right over to the cooling rack, and with the gloves, take the bread off of there. Ooh, there we go. That goes in the sink. Look at that beautiful baby. Yes. Oh, she's gorgeous. Absolutely incredible. You can see the little leaf pattern down one side, the big ear on the other side. She's amazing. All right, we're gonna let that cool for about an hour before we cut into it. Okay, our sourdough loaf has been out of the oven for about an hour, maybe even an hour and a half. It's almost cool, and I can't wait anymore. We have to cut into it. You ready? You have to excuse that morning sun streaming into my window. It is a beautiful day today. Well, here's what we're gonna do. Instead of cutting this loaf into slices, what I like to do is I cut the loaf in half. Listen to that crunch. Look at that. Oh, baby, you are so beautiful. And you notice the bottom is nice and tan. It didn't get burnt because we put that parchment paper underneath. Oh, that is gorgeous. And we're just gonna butter that up. Oh, boy. So nice. Give that a little taste. It smells like an everything bagel. Look at how pretty that is. I mean, it looks like an everything bagel. Mmm. Mmm. Yummy. Oh my gosh, that's so good. That is so good. Happy dance time. Oh, that is so good. Yum, yum, yum. Mmm. All right. Remember, when you bake with real ingredients, when you bake with love, you can make and keep yourself well. I'm just stuffing my face. That is so good. Oh, and pay no mind to this sandwich loaf over here. That's a different video. Until next time, remember, Mama loves you. Mwah! Have a great day. Bye now.